We're at Wildwood Baseball Park on a sunny, warm afternoon where Sheboygan South is going to host crosstown rival, the Sheboygan North Golden Raiders, in the first intercity battle between these two teams in conference action. Hello, everybody. My name is Mike Martin. Joining me is Greg Schwartz, taking over for Tom Grams this ball game. And Greg, first of all, thanks for joining me tonight in a kind of emergency notice. Tom had something else going on, but we should have quite a game tonight. North comes in with a 5-5 record. South is 3-6, so in that respect, there's not too much difference. But always a good game when these two teams play each other.
Yeah, first of all, Marty, thanks for having me back. We've done this about 4 or 5 times over the years. And I don't know if we can pick a winner tonight. They both go in somewhat even. We do have a baseball, weather-wise, beautiful evening, so we can't ask for more than that. That hasn't happened in a long time.
That's for sure.
And we're just about getting ready for the national anthem, I guess. So looking forward to a good ball game.
You see North lined up on their baseline. They'll be in the south side dugout, which doesn't seem appropriate. South is in the normal home dugout and taking the field for the national anthem. Both teams come into this game with their starters being the ace of the staff. Jared Granke comes in with 16 innings pitched. He's only given up 5 hits, although he has given up 15 walks, so control has been an issue. His ERA is 1.31. He's 0-1 on the season. For North, their starter is going to be Ryan Eigenberger. He's got a 1-2 record of the 4.96 ERA. He's gone 18 innings, given up 19 hits. Has walked 13 and struck out 15. He did have one real bad game, Greg. I think I mentioned that to you. Gave up 10 earned runs in like 3-some innings. Not all his fault, but otherwise his statistics would be a little nicer.
Yeah, in that respect, the ERA doesn't mean a lot, but he has thrown well, as you said, except for that one outing. Defensively, I think the infield looks in pretty good shape.
The field is in excellent shape, and the three amigos, they call them, Eric Wiesman and his dad Arlen and Terry Berkovitz really spend a lot of time here keeping it in good shape. And they start that during the high school season, and it'll progress all the way through the summer.
You know, years ago, about 2 or 3, they put in some sprinkler systems in the infield, and that's made a remarkable difference.
Yeah, they pulled all those things up, you know, the where the water comes out, cleaned them out, got some new tops, so it all works the way it should now. Remember the old Legion Park?
I do.
Grams
I don't know
and
how
I
many
talked
of our
about
listeners
that.
remember that anymore.
Well, when they had the horseshoe in there, that ripped up the field forever. From that point on, it was never the same.
Well, you know, and they use it. When I played with the Red Wings, we played up there, and it was a multi-purpose. I ended up coaching Legion up there, and I'd have to put all the equipment in my truck or in my car because it would keep getting broken into and being stolen.
Right.
And, you know.
Dick Rasmussen, you remember Razzie?
He lived right across.
He lived right across the alley from the grandstand, and there were a couple nights when kids were breaking in. He slept there a couple nights just to make sure. He did catch some guys too one time.
Okay, well that's for you listeners who are of our age, I guess, right?
That's right. All right, leading off the ball game for Sheboygan North is Colin Willis. He comes in with a .538 batting average. He has been awesome so far this year.
When Chris came up and gave us the stats, he said his on-base percentage is .707, so he couldn't be more happy with the play that Willis has given him thus far.
Good on-base percentage for a leadoff man. Doesn't get much better than that. Our umpires tonight are Kevin Preby behind the plate and Steve Beck on the bases. And those two gentlemen are from Jimmy Gantner's hometown, Eden, Wisconsin. It's over around Fond du Lac.
Cullen's a junior, so he'll be back next year.
Yeah, he's a good guy to have back. He's a fine outfielder, too, I think. And we did a game a couple weeks ago, and he had 6 putouts in center field. Not all of them easy, too. He had a range over for a couple of them.
Speaking of outfield play, the wind's blowing pretty hard now out to left, straight out to left field, it looks like. And pretty hard.
Yeah, if you can tag one to left center, you got a chance. Count is 3-1 to Willis. Cranky's pitch is inside, and Willis draws a walk. And we had mentioned that Jared Granke has had control problems. 15 walks, now 16 in 16 innings.
Now Jared's the junior. The brothers are both pitchers. Josh, the sophomore, I remember when Jordan was a pitcher just 2-3 years ago. He had some injuries his junior and senior year, but he threw well as well. Maybe the dad knows something about pitching, evidently.
Yeah, that always helps. Again, I like that commercial they have about Tim Lincecum working with his dad pitching. The Freak.
Put $1 down to make sure he followed through. And
yeah.
His favorite color is green, I guess. I guess that stands for money. Fake bunt.
Alex Nelson is batting for North. He's the second baseman, batting second. He steps in with a .207 batting average. It's good range at second base. Willis taking a lead off first.
There's a fastball outside corner. Sheboygan, just like any place else in Wisconsin this year, has had trouble getting their games in with the weather and due to postponements and changing the doubleheaders and throwing games in there. And not getting actually regular play right now. The stats might be, hitting-wise, might be down somewhat.
Yeah, they usually say your hitting picks up when the weather warms up. We'll have to see how that works tonight.
So by the 4th of July, they should all be hitting 300, in other words. There's a good bunt.
He's got a chance to beat that out. Good play by Granke to get Nelson. Give Nelson a sacrifice. Willis moves over to second base. Brings up Ryan Ham.
First baseman stayed home and he covered the bag on that one.
Ham steps in with a fine batting average, hitting .333, 12 for 36. Does have a home run and 12 RBIs.
Still only a junior. He brought him up in the freshman year, in the middle of his freshman year.
One thing that is kind of interesting here, Greg, if you look at this, North has 8 doubles, 1 home run, only 9 extra base hits in 10 games. That's not a lot of slugging.
302 slugging percentage is pretty low, you're right. Again, when the weather warms up, those stats usually move up a little bit. Plus when their players start getting some normal at-bats.
Ham takes that pitch up and in. Granke looks pretty quick out there.
All the Granke's featured a pretty decent fastball, and they work off that.
Grant Evans is doing the catching for South.
There's a base hit.
Line drive to left field. Outfielder couldn't come up with it. And it's a good thing for Willis because if he comes up with it, it's a real easy double play. Willis was off with the crack of the bat.
Fooled me as well. It hung up there a while. But you're right. They would have doubled him up. That one you have to kind of see through, go halfway.
Right. He would have scored either way.
Right.
Well, run in for North. I think they gave Ham a base hit.
If not, we'll give him one.
It's in the book.
Right.
Ryan Eigenberger, North's starting pitcher, is up. Ham on first. Infield is back for South.
Ryan's off to a good start with a .345 batting average with 10 hits. He's been, I think he was also called up as a freshman, so he's experienced.
Right, he knows what he's doing. For the most part, he'll throw strikes. I remember having him in a doubleheader a couple weeks ago. They played Racine St. Catharines. Won a doubleheader. First game was a day.
Huh? You still umping quite a bit?
Yeah, pretty much. First game was 2-1 in 10 innings.
Well played. Okay. Little wrestling match going on here with the headset. We're all set.
Martin a winner.
Yeah, you've umped about, what, 25 years already, Marty?
I bet it's been that long, yeah. I don't know for sure, but it's got to be.
No, if you haven't told your fans out there in TV land you're soon to be retired, you could be a full-time umpire.
Yeah, could be. I don't know if I want to be. But it's fun, you know, and it's.
Heck, you may get into basketball officiating and everything. Throw over to first base.
Yeah, no,
Nice
that's,
quick feet.
That's done for now. Just baseball. I can't remember all those rules. I got trouble remembering just the baseball rules.
Well, when you bring your manual with, there's about 300 pages for baseball, so anybody can forget some of those.
Actually, they say the hardest test for certification as an official is the football test.
Really?
WIA.
And there's 7 of you guys out there, aren't there? Or in high school, there are only 6?
I think it's 6.
Okay.
For varsity, it'd probably be about 4 for JV and freshmen. But that's a hard test.
So we got an 0-2 count as he fouled one off to the cars here on New Jersey Avenue. Throw over to first base. North scored an early run.
1-0 North. Eigenberger still at bat. Ham is on first, taking a good lead.
Another throw over.
Grinke driving him back. North will run once in a while when they got the right guys on, which I guess is what most teams would do.
In high school, it's best to force the action. There is no question. And I don't know for South, Will Matson, pitching coach, used to call the pitches as well as the pitch outs. I don't know.
Yeah.
He still does. I know converted, I guess you'd say infielder, Grant Evans is a catcher, and he turned himself into a catcher with hard work. Over one winter,
Wasn't he a first baseman?
He wanted, actually a middle infielder, he wanted catching equipment for Christmas one year because he said, I want to be a catcher. That was about 2 years ago.
Really?
And he worked hard at it.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to be something, you're going to work at it. And that's...
And he's only a junior, so he'll be back another year. A hanging breaking ball popped up.
First baseman over, making a nice catch. That catch was made by Jake Rissy. Rissy's name has come up throughout the course of the sports season. Football player and a basketball player.
Yeah, that's Jake. That's right. He's a quarterback for South now, or going to be, I understand.
Tucker DeVriend is up. Tucker playing out in left field today.
Well, they may throw over again, but I think the runner's going to be going any pitch here.
I remember one time saying to Stu Hoffensberger, he'll be running early in the count. First pitch, he was gone.
That's as early as you can get.
Fly ball out to left. Coming in and making a nice running catch was Alex Lang, and that ends the inning. North with 1 run on. I guess he gave an error. They only got one. Well, it was a walk. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 man left at the end of a half inning of play. North 1, South coming up.
When I need you, I just close my eyes and I'm with you. And all that I so wanna give you, it's only a
You don't have to be a hero to be a hero. When you adopt a child from foster care, just being there makes all the difference.
Pop quiz for you. In what movie did I play a gang leader struggling in school? Who was my teacher? What did I learn in math class? Oh, and here's one about you. What did your kid learn in math class today?
Know what really matters. Know about your kid's school and know about your kid. Find out 100 ways to know more, do more.
Wildwood Baseball Park, we're getting ready to start the bottom of the first. North's got a run in the first inning on a walk, leadoff walk to Willis, and then a sac bunt by Nelson. And then Ryan Ham delivered a base hit to left. Give North the lead.
So I think North is going with their number one here. Eichelberger, as we said before, Eigenberger has pitched well except for that one outing. His catcher, A.J. Conrad, they've formed a pretty good battery thus far this year. Played some good defense. I guess they've only had about one subpar defensive game as well. So, again, we said at the beginning of the broadcast, I don't know if I want to pick a favorite for today. Baseball is always a hard pick anyhow. But
Right.
But, North is a little bit more seasoned. I was just looking over South's roster. They only have 2 seniors on the entire squad. I don't know if they're in a rebuilding year or not, but they'll certainly be strong in the future. Again, the wind's blowing out. It started to warm up. It must be mid-50s, upper 50s right now. Got a good night. Crowd starting to filter in.
You know, at the beginning of the broadcast when I opened up, I said it's a sunny, warm afternoon. That's relatively speaking. If we're talking over in Fond du Lac where it's 80 degrees, then we're not so warm.
Well, one of the first games I had broadcasted with you was when Charlie Reschke played, so that's a long time ago.
Yeah, that is a while.
It was like 32 degrees. Wind was blowing out of the northeast. There was about 12 people in the stands.
TV8 was here, though.
You're right.
Now we're WSCS TV. You know, we're on 990 if you want to watch tonight, or 95.
I realize that. You're right. Starts him off with a fastball. First strike.
Eigenberger on the mound. A.J. Conrad behind the plate. Leading off for South is Justin Reinecke.
Who is a good hitter. I know he was brought up at the end of his freshman year.
Hitting .294 so far this year. So
Coach Wright came up here before the game and had said it's one of the players he had feared. He wanted to keep him off the bases, and he has been swinging a good stick.
Breaking ball hangs up high. 1-1, or 1 ball and 2 strikes. It is really I mean, this is by far the best day we've had for baseball so far this season.
Ground ball to short. Rolled up on him, and he ended up
bobbled it and threw it over the head of the first baseman, but
didn't get a good grip.
Reinecke stays at first. So Reinecke reaches on an E6.
Had he moved in a step or two, he'd have played that ball a little bit more cleanly. He wouldn't have had to kind of rush the throw.
Yeah, he did stay back, didn't he?
That's one of the things they'll teach you all the time as a middle infielder, and then shortstop in particular. You got to come and get it.
Batting second for the Red Wings is the catcher, Grant Evans. Brian Andrews on the field camera. Fritz Zank up here in the booth with us running this camera. Right now, Kerry Kautzer is spinning the dials in the truck, and Scott Mieloff is up here standing next to me making sure I behave.
Ryan throws over to first, and I got a feeling Justin's going to be off on one of these pitches. Throws one a little bit low. Dug out nicely by Chris Russo at first base. A good target over there. Chris has been a first baseman since about 7th grade. I remember having him on a traveling team as well as a fastball down the middle.
First pitch is a strike. Conrad behind the plate. Eigenberger on the mound. Russo, a real good defender over there. And Ross at third. We had Ham at short. And Nelson, real good fielder over at second. There you get a good shot of Eigenberger on the mound.
This is the time of the day. I noticed the right fielder shading his eyes. It can be brutal on the right side of the diamond at Wildwood Park at this time of the day. All summer they have to learn to play with that.
What the outfielders have trouble with is how to use their glove to fight the sun, for going after fly balls. That's
there goes the runner, and it's a throw. It's a little bit high.
Conrad's throw is off the money. Good jump by the base stealer Reinecke.
AJ didn't really have a chance at that. We said Reinecke would probably be off and running, and I don't have his stolen bases down.
Yeah, they got a couple there. He's
okay,
got
that's
2.
His third.
On deck for Red Wings.
Good
nice
bunt.
bunt. Third baseman was hanging
back.
Nobody's
going to cover. Perfect. That was a beautiful bunt, Marty. He laid that down, and he's going for 2.
He's going to go for second. Nobody's covering. Nelson went over. Nelson went over to cover the back up the first baseman. Never went back to the bag, and the shortstop went over to third on a possible pickoff with the base runner going too far off the bag, so no one covered second, and all of a sudden South has runners on second and third.
Beautiful one by Evans, and he caught her by napping, not once but twice on one play.
Yeah, heads up base running. Jacob Risto is up, number 3 hitter. Good breaking ball by Eigenberger in for a strike. Risto steps in, hitting 200. He's 2 for 10.
But he's their leader at the ball club, and
Oh, yeah.
they're looking for him to pick up an RBI right now. I see North is doing something I've never cared for, Marty, holding the runner on third before the pitch. I never saw too much value in that.
Well, yeah, he is putting himself on the line.
Third, at this level, is a difficult position because you never know how deep to play, and you get some tricky hops down there. Just kind of takes him off that a little bit. I know he's getting back, but
Good rip by Jake Risto. Fouled it away.
see some of the shirt sleeve crowd over on the right field bleachers here. I don't know if it's that warm, but they are students, and Marty used to dress like that too 45 years ago.
That was July and August when I would do that.
Breaking ball.
Oh, good
about
stop by Conrad.
About a 56-footer there.
Eigenberger struggling a little bit now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Risto up.
It's nice when you can throw that breaking ball and have confidence in your catcher with 2 strikes to be able to knock one down. AJ's he's worked hard his defensive game since I knew him at Horseman, since he was a little guy.
Another
He
ball
always
hit
wanted to be
foul.
a catcher. When I say Horseman, we're talking 6th grade here, Marty.
A long time ago.
And AJ's a senior now, so you're right, that puts him at 6 years ago.
Stretch and the pitch. Pitch is down in the dirt again.
Asking for help, but I think he held up. He did. The appeal play at the second base umpire.
And again, the umpires get it right. 3 balls and 2 strikes. First base is open. There's nobody out. South looking to tie up the ball game. North scored 1 in the top of the first. Outfielders are fairly deep.
Threw him breaking ball, Marty, at 3-2. First inning. Van Scatter has a pop-up on the right field bleachers here, first base
I
side.
think the ball stopped rolling. It's probably safe to pick it up.
I used to play Legion baseball with you. That was kind of your philosophy in the outfield.
Yeah, it worked too. I didn't have an error.
It's a
Bouncing
ground ball,
ball,
foul.
foul.
Coach Clay is not bringing out a gold glove on that one either, by the way.
He's saving that for later.
It's early in the season. 3-2, he's been throwing some breaking balls here, so he obviously respects his hitting ability. I know they play together in Legion in the summertime.
All the kids know each other basically.
Just got a piece.
Yeah, Risto just got a piece of that pitch. Nice delivery there by Eigenberger, and Risto spoiling that pitch.
Speaking of Legion, did I see a Paul Van Lannen sighting? The Legion coach, varsity coach. He's been doing that for, 7-8 years by now, I think.
Yeah, he's been around. Been very dependable.
Tough breaking ball off the inside part of the plate.
And
that loads him up.
Risto walks to load the bases. Nobody out. Josh Grenke up. Grenke playing over at second base today. Also does a little bit of chucking for the Red Wings. He's
So infield back at double play depth in the middle. Corners are up a little bit. Now Chris Russo put even with the bag at first.
well, I'll tell you this. Josh steps in hitting .059. He's only 1 for 17. This would be a great opportunity to break out of a slump.
Well, they got him batting 4th, so obviously he has shown something.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You're not going to bat somebody with that kind of a batting average, number 4, if you don't have confidence in him. Here comes the 1-1 pitch by Eigenberger. Drive out to deep right field. Hobart makes the catch and gets it in. But tagging and scoring is Reineke.
We got to throw down a second, and everybody else moves up as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you, North didn't do that right.
That first baseman didn't assume a cutoff position. I don't know what North's play on that is, but generally the first baseman will come down the line and get the cut.
You want to get the cut, keep that runner on first base. Now they got second and third again.
Not only puts him in scoring position, but as an infielder, you really appreciate the force when you keep a runner at first base.
Right. Although in high school ball, you'll find a lot of times a first and third situation is almost as good as a second and third because that guy runs on the catcher and they don't throw down very often.
It's actually scary because it's one of the plays that they work on to try and get kids to make a mistake, shall we say. There's a pop-up on the first pitch.
Ross coming over. There's a little trouble. Nobody's got it. Oh, boy. Not good communication that time. Tom Ross, it was his play, and he didn't take charge.
It was fair the whole way. The wind is blowing out, so I don't think that did anything as far as fair or foul is concerned. Just had some trouble. It's a high sky. There's not a cloud in the sky. That can make things difficult for an infielder.
Chris Wright coming out to talk to the troops. It loads the bases again. Fortunately for North, there is one out. But South really threatening to break this game open if they get a big hit.
Yeah, this is a key moment. It's a good conference by Chris going out there. He's talking to his entire squad, not just a pitcher.
Sam Raff is next hitter for the Red Wings.
And he's hitting about 200 right now.
Has drawn a few walks, though.
6 walks, only struck out twice, so he puts the ball in play. Again, we'll watch on North's defense. The infield's back. They don't want to give up the big inning if they can help it.
All infielders are back. You're right. They're looking for the double play. Nice pitch by Eigenberger on the outside corner for a strike.
Been throwing a lot of breaking balls early in the ball game. He started them off that time with a fastball.
Evans at third, Risto at second, and Jared Grinke over at first.
Runner on second was off, but he offered at it. I don't know if they missed a squeeze sign or not. Coach Clace is talking down there. Actually, it's lucky for him they did miss
Yeah, really. No balls and 2 strikes.
No signs on right now. Craig says, come on, go in and hit.
Eigenberger in the stretch. Bouncing ball to second, nobody at first.
Pitcher's there now. Called him out.
And they called him out. Eigenberger late getting over, but Nelson kept his cool and made the throw, and it was a good one. But the ground out does bring in the lead run for the Red Wings, and they're up now 2-1.
As we said, Sam puts the ball in play, and he did that. It was a productive out. Almost had a chance for an infield hit, but Eigenberger helped himself and got over to the bag, and he was out.
I think a good coaching point when he comes to the dugout is Eigenberger, get there quicker.
As soon as that ball's to the right side, you have nothing else to do but head over there. So here's Jake Rissy, first baseman.
Actually, that we got a courtesy runner coming in for Jared Grinke. That's number 5, Wayne Pletz. Pletz is a junior infielder. Getting in the ball game.
Getting a good lead at second base. Fastball outside
Looked
corner
a
at the
little bit
letters.
up, but it was a strike. Bottom of the first inning, South with 2 runs so far. They've grabbed the lead.
So he's thrown 2 fastballs, and as most of the time in high school baseball, you get ahead with the fastball, and although I don't always agree with it, now you come back with a breaking ball because to me you speed up bats. And he kept with the fastball, and he bloops one to short. Will be caught, I think.
Oh,
Okay.
Ryan Ham with a over-the-shoulder catch probably made it look a little more difficult than he should have, but that's the end of the inning for the Red Wings, but they do come up with a pair of runs, and now they lead it by a score of 2-1.
The United Church of Christ. No matter who you are or where you are in life's journey, you're welcome here.
If you're not helping after-school programs, you're really helping to take them away.
That wasn't very nice.
After-school programs
Wouldn't you rather be helping?
Diabetes.
The Wildwood Baseball Park.
It's a pretty
Wow.
action-packed first inning there, Marty.
Yeah, alongside Greg Schwartz, I'm Mike Martin, bringing you the first North-South game for this baseball season. And actually, our next TV game is a North-South game. That's going to be on May 8th, which I believe is also a Friday, 5 o'clock start. A little later than normal, Greg.
Yeah, it used to be 4 o'clock starts, although the last couple of years they've gone with twilight double headers. Chris Russo pops up a fastball, got in on his fist, and pops up to Rissy at first base for out number 1.
Chris Russo, that first batter. And now batting is Tom Ross. Ross was the third baseman who didn't take charge of that one infield pop-up. In the long run, it didn't hurt too bad. I mean, South got the runs they were going to get anyway, but still,
There's
you
a
don't
good
want to
breaking ball.
you don't want to give teams outs, and that's what causes problems in the long run.
So Jared Drinky starts him off with a good breaking ball. Now he can go any way he wants here. Evans sets up in the outside corner. Nice fastball just off the corner.
Jared Grinke on the mound. Tom Ross, the batter. Pop-up on the infield is a foul, actually, infield.
Got in
foul
his
ball.
kitchen a little bit and fisted him. So you may see a breaking ball in the dirt now, or a fastball up would be the way you'd want to go.
I got the feeling, Greg, and this is just me now, is that with all those walks, don't you think it's a little hard to put pitches, like that in the dirt, inside,
Well,
outside?
it is anyhow for high school kids. You're
Yeah.
right.
Most of the time they look, and what I've noticed a lot of times is when a kid throws a breaking ball for a strike, what's the next pitch going to be? A lot of times it's a breaking ball just because they threw one, but it's at a different level. Usually, it's not Division I baseball. Those guys don't do that so often. Good fastball there, though, and Ross is down swinging.
The only thing with that, even though you're right, the pitchers can't put it where they want to at this level very often, it does play into the batter's mind. Tommy was behind in that one just because he was thinking breaking ball perhaps, and fastball in the outside corner. And
when you're down 2 strikes, you're down 2 strikes. It doesn't matter what level you're
Right.
at. Whoa, foul ball. Right
AJ
off of Conrad's bat.
AJ, you got to turn away, don't just duck. At this level, a lot of times kids duck instead of turn away from there
And they
get
leave
the
the
batter
bat
to
up,
play.
too.
You're right, and he did. He's shaking his head and saying, "Doggone it! What a way to get a strike."
A Granke breaking ball in the dirt. Evans working hard back there.
Again, all accolades go out to him. He turned himself into a catcher. Good for him. Not a position that's, it's always one that highly sought after by a coach, but not one that kids often want to play.
I'll tell you, when you got a good catcher, it just turns the whole game around. I mean, it can control a running game. If they're a smart guy, they know how to call pitches.
Right.
They keep the ball in front of them. A lot of things change when you have a weak catcher back there.
And teams will look for that during infield right off the bat to see how he throws. And, of course, opposing coaches will watch right away. How does he receive a game?
Right.
Fastball inside corner, so AJ's got a 2-2 count.
Wind up by Jared Granke. And fires the fastball, but way upstairs.
I think AJ dropped his bat a little bit this time, Marty.
Even there, he didn't drop it enough. Full count. 2 outs, top of the second. Granke's pitch looked, must have been a little bit low. It looked good.
Tough pitch to take, but it drew a walk.
Evans wanted a strike, the catcher, but didn't get it. Joe Bergerino, the DH, is up next. Bergerino is batting for Kyle Hobart, the right fielder, and coming in to pinch run is Mike Balitz. And Balitz is a good base runner, Greg. He's got good speed and he's got good instincts out there. He'll be stealing.
2 outs, good time to send him. Didn't throw over. Joe Bergerino, a veteran as well, hitting .278 in the year with a couple extra base hits, 4 ribbies. Kind of a jack of all trades, and sometimes that works to his disadvantage as he's DHing as a result, but he can play all over. There's an up and in fastball. He hit it hard, foul.
Foul down the left field side. Baylitz retreating back to first, and Bergerino back to the plate. In high school baseball, of course, you can courtesy run for the pitcher and the catcher. Helps to speed things up. Also gets more kids into the ball game, which is nice.
0-2 pitch.
That pitch is in the dirt. Baylitz hanging on at first base. I thought he'd be...
Kind of surprised, especially with an 0-2 count.
Yeah, I thought
if
he'd be
you're thrown
off.
out, you just start to hit her up, you know, with a fresh count next inning.
Of course, not running him, it allows you to clear to the 9-hitter, but Bergerino not a bad stick. Gets on top of that ball, hits it on the ground, and the throw over to first is in time, and it's almost a 1-2-3 inning. But after 1.5, South on top, 2-1.
After I was diagnosed, I didn't feel sick, so I didn't listen to my doctor. Then it struck. I had a heart attack, then a stroke, and I was only 49.
People with diabetes are 2 to 4 times more likely to suffer a stroke than people without diabetes. And many who survive are severely disabled.
Don't let diabetes destroy your life.
Learn how to reduce your risk of stroke. Call for your free diabetes survival guide.
Look, my first tooth.
Dudley, spit out the toothpaste. That was the first time you brushed your teeth.
And I brush twice a day, every day.
Oh, here's that nice dentist, Dr. Benchley.
Yep, he showed me how to floss.
Why are your teeth blue?
I use my mouth guard whenever I play sports to protect my smile.
And visit the dentist regularly.
Remember, brush twice a day and floss once a day.
There. Or Marion now, that's what they're all going to. Okay.
Starting the bottom of the second inning, leading off for the Red Wings will be James Kazmarowski.
I was just telling Marty off the camera here, I had Jim as a student years ago, and he's been in to visit numerous times. He really loves baseball. He's a soccer baseball player, and he attacks the baseball. He's never been shy swinging the bat. Sometimes we don't find a position for him out there, but he will attack.
Kazmarowski steps in, hitting .227 and bounces one over the third baseman's head, but it is foul. Very close to being a fair ball.
I was going to say, don't fail me now. I just got done saying you'll attack the ball. At least he swung at the first pitch. Thanks, Kaz.
First ball, fastball hitter. Actually, first pitch hitter. Swinging at the ball. There's a pop-up straight
aggressive.
Back. In the parking lot. I'll tell you, you'll know it when it hits the roof.
That's
it's
true.
Pretty loud.
So things have quieted down a little bit since the wild first inning for both teams.
Yep. No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch is outside.
Good eye.
Eigenberger on the mound for the Raiders. A.J. Conrad behind the plate. We have Russo at first. Nelson at second. Ham at short. Ross over at third. In the outfield, it's DeVriend, Willis, and Hobart.
Kaz fouls one off on a 2-strike fastball.
Ball is hit out to left field and deep.
Hit well.
Back is DeVriend on the track, righting himself, and he can't make the catch. It drops in there. Kazmarowski is streaking around second and heads into third with a triple.
He attacked the baseball. Every pitch he went after, he swung hard.
Well, he got it to that part of the field where the ball is going to carry, and you can see the wind is blowing out to left field.
It looked like he had it measured in left field, but ended up trying to make a catch down around the knees and didn't stay in there. We'll see what we give him on that. I would guess it'd be a hit.
They've given him a hit, and I think rightfully so. The left fielder made a heck of a play just to get back there. And wind aided, but
Norris got the infield in. That's a fair ball. The runner's holding.
Kazmarowski holds at third. The pitcher, Eigenberger, had a play at first but didn't take it. He wanted to make sure the run didn't score. And Well, I think that one almost has to go as a fielder's choice.
Early in the game, I'd take an out, but sometimes the catcher's going to make that call. Again, Eigenberger's this senior, so he thought he would catch the runner, but he really didn't look over that way. It puts your first and third situation, Marty, and in high school baseball, always a tricky one.
Well, they gave him a hit, so I guess I will. But South with runners at first and third.
Runners
and
going
the
in the
ball
first
gets
pitch.
through Conrad. Kazmarowski holds at third, probably a good decision. And Lang, the person who reached first, is now on second base with a stolen base. Leadoff hitter Justin Reinecke is up. Reinecke reached on an error by Ham back in the first, last half inning.
2 fastballs just off the plate. Nice patience by Reinecke.
Reinecke's the center fielder for the Red Wings.
Middle infielder's back right now.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, but it is early in the game.
There's a good breaking ball.
Eigenberger not afraid to throw that breaking pitch when he's behind in the count. We've even seen it a couple times with 3-2 counts. So he's pretty confident.
It's a good take by Reinecke. 2-0. Don't mess around with it. There's another breaking ball down and in.
That ball fouled at the plate. Evens the count now at 2-2. Nobody out. South on top, 2-1, and threatening to score some more runs.
Now, South is the home team, don't forget. They're bottom of the second.
Kazmarowski's on third. Alex Lang on second. Reinecke at the plate. Drills one to left center field. It's going to be a gapper. 2 runs will score. Reinecke's going to be in at second with a stand-up double. What a good piece of hitting there, Greg.
Yeah, he let it get in on him very nicely and just went that way with it. Hit it hard in the gap. That's 2 RBIs, and we got a 4-1 South lead, but still nobody out.
Grant Evans is up. Evans
Beautiful bunt his last time,
bunted
if you
his
remember.
last time.
Might
for a
be
base
another
hit.
time to bunt. Tom Ross is creeping in at the corner a little bit. I'll be looking for one. And he shortened up.
Raised that top hand as if to bunt, but took it for a ball. Pitch was in the dirt.
Watching Tommy Ross, he's not sure what he should do, and sometimes as a high school third baseman, this is difficult. You can't charge too much because the runner may just steal. Shortstop Ham stretching behind, out of position. Here's the bunt, breaking ball up.
Pitch is up, and I noticed this the first North game we had, the shortstop was Eigenberger that time, would cut in behind, and then the pitcher would be delivering the pitch, and he was not in good position to field any grounders to shortstop.
Yeah, pitcher's got to step off if he's not going to throw if the shortstop is not back, or wait. He's got a 3-0 count right now, Marty.
I was just going to say that, 3-0.
So I think the bunt there has shaken up Eigenberger a little bit, and that walks him on 4.
It does put runners on first and second. Jacob Risto is up.
He's their senior leader now. Let's see what they have him do.
Jake is walked his first time and was stranded at third when the inning ended. He's one of the better players on the South squad.
I'd like to think you give him the green light, but I don't know. You could.
Well, I don't think you'd want to do anything but give him the green light.
Well, nobody's out. I was just thinking.
We don't know what.
Infield's back, so.
Yeah.
We don't know how he's been hitting and what approach he's been having lately.
Pretty good
breaking
stop
ball
there
down.
I was going to say, pretty good stop there by Conrad. Keep the ball in front of him. But another ball, and all of a sudden, Ryan Eigenberger having trouble throwing strikes.
There's a step off. Smart decision. Chris Russo's not holding anybody on the edge of the grass. Runners are getting a pretty good lead.
Pitch is outside. Craig Claes over at third. Head coach for South, Willie Madsen, over at first. One of the assistant coaches, the pitching coach.
That's a little change. I know sometimes Tim Moyer will come and take the baselines, and Will will be in the dugout.
We haven't noticed. I know that other years Will has called pitches from the dugout. We haven't noticed that this year. Fly ball out to right. Hobart racing over. Can't get it. It drops in for a base hit. Everybody from South will move up a base, and that loads them up with nobody out and 2 runs in.
So he dropped one in the right side. I don't think Hobart got a good jump on the ball, but either way, it was a base hit. And North is in trouble right now. It's still nobody out.
And like I mentioned, South already has 2 runs in. It's 4-1 South. Josh Grinke is up. Grinke had a sac fly to right field, and I know you can't see it on your screen, but out in right field, Hobart has got his glove up in front of his eyes trying to shield the sun. That might have been part of the reason for the slow jump on that last fly ball, Greg, just having trouble picking it up off the bat.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's tough out. We said that before in the first inning. This is the time of the day at Wildwood, the right side of the infield. You know, they don't wear shades much on here. There's a shot.
Line drive
That's
out
over
to
his
left.
head.
DeVrine is not going to get that. It goes to the wall. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Risto is going to try to score. Here's the throw
is
home.
Up the line.
And in at third on the throw home is Josh Grinke, and it's a bases clearing double going to third on the throw home. Well, he cracked that ball, Greg.
Yep. He had no chance in left. And the only chance they had was a cut down runner at the plate, but to throw up the line. And that makes it a 7-1 ball game with a runner on third and still nobody out.
You know, I thought that was a real good call by Coach Clace to send Risto because you got the big lead. He's a fast runner, forcing North to make 2 good throws. And coming out is Chris Wright.
Now, it's hard to tell. You know, your natural action is to look in the bullpen, but most of the time the kid's already playing.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
a pitcher, you know, so you don't know who would be next if anybody's warm.
Well, depending on availability, Ryan Ham is a kid that does a lot of chucking for North, so he might be a kid that would come in and throw. He's playing at short tonight. Actually, you know what we could do? We could look at the stats and see who has all the innings pitched.
You know, I don't know what Chris is talking about. He's still staying out there. It's just Ryan and him right now, but he has thrown maybe a disproportionate number of breaking balls. And
yeah, you're right. You have called a lot of those. Jacob Wasink has got 13 innings. Ryan Ham has got 21 innings, 20.2. So basically 21 innings. Next up is Jared Grinke. Grinke singled his last time up, Greg, and another opportunity to help his own cause.
The infield's up this time, and that makes a 300 hitter, what did they say, a 400 or 500 hitter. There's that breaking ball.
You're right, boy. He's throwing a lot of those benders.
Another one.
Bouncing ball foul down the third base line. Again, Coach Claes flagging it, but not flagging it down.
If he has a gold glove, he's going to have to give it back. He was a catcher, so we'll give him that.
He was a good pitcher, too, actually. He could throw strikes.
I know he pitched for the A's there the year he managed them to first place. 0-2, another breaking ball, 3 in a row, Marty.
And
they got out number 1.
Good play by Conrad to tag Grinke before he made a play for first base. On a drop third strike, if nobody's on first, the batter can run.
Now, I don't know Ryan's abilities. Maybe that is his best pitch, and maybe Coach Wright went out there and told him, what's your best pitch, and I want you to throw it and get rid of this guy.
Sam Raff is up. Raff grounded to second and drove in a run. And you had mentioned, Greg, he doesn't strike out much. And
it was a productive at-bat. He bounced it to the right side, and they got him at first. The play went 4-1, but it was a good at-bat, and it was a heady play. Here he took a breaking ball again low. There's a fastball. The infield's in, so we have a play. Nope, they elected not to.
Ham goes to third, and South with another run. And Raff with a productive out again.
Well, they made it out, but that's why the infield's in, so you can cut him down at the plate. And they had it right at him. But anyhow, it's 8-1 right now. So again, putting the ball in play. In high school, I can't tell you how important that is. Put the ball in play. Good things will happen.
Ball is up and in for a ball. Almost hitting Jake Rissy. Bases are clear, but South has 6 runs in the inning.
So he's got 2 fastballs on this time, so he's changed his thought process on this one.
Think about this, Greg, for a second. Triple, single, double, walk, single, another double.
So you're saying you want to cycle this inning?
Not necessarily a cycle. I'm just thinking a lot of strong hitting.
Yeah.
You know, they're driving the ball.
Started, I think Kazmarowski led off the inning, and he drove that one, and then there was another couple of long hits. You're right.
What I liked about Kaz's hit, not necessarily the hit so much, is just the hustle around the bases. I mean, he hit it well, and he knew it, and he was, it's like he was thinking third right out of the batter's box.
Which is what you're supposed to do. You're correct. Here we got a 3-1 count here. Be interesting to see how long they go with Ryan here.
Jake Rissy is the hitter. Rissy popped the short his first time up. He's the 9th hitter this inning. Kazmarowski is waiting on deck.
Just a little bit high.
Another walk, second walk of the inning for Eigenberger. And that brings up Kazmarowski, who tripled and scored earlier this inning.
Now that pitch, you know, looked pretty close. Now you're an umpire for years and years, Marty. Did you ever talk about high strikes and the fact that baseball at all levels has gotten away from that?
High school baseball, you got to open it up a little bit. You can't call a tight strike zone or you're going to be there all night.
That's true.
The kids get frustrated, and it makes for a not very good game.
You're right.
So
and I think most coaches, they've got to tell them anything close. I want you hacking if you're going to be a baseball player.
I remember earlier in my career doing a line drive out to center field. Willis got a good jump on it, and he makes the catch. What a play by Willis.
He did. He turned right.
Oh,
Perfect.
Man.
Drop step, turned to his left, had his eye on the ball the whole time, put his glove up, made a nice play, and that could have been another double, maybe a triple.
Yeah. Well, anyway, in the inning, there you see it. South comes up with 6 more runs. They now lead it after 2 innings, 8-1.
Something you can do to protect your kids from drugs and alcohol. Combine ground beef with egg, tomato sauce, breadcrumbs, and spices. Bake in an oven-safe pan at 350 for 50 minutes. Serve hot.
This is Jamie Lee Curtis. Children who eat dinner with their families are less likely to smoke, drink, or use drugs. So, have dinner together every day.
Delicious.
A message from CASA, the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University.
You know, makes for a better game. We were just talking about strike zones in high school baseball. You can't call it very tight, and I remember earlier, well, it was more than several years ago, and calling a tight zone, and my partner at that time happened to be Dennis Semp, and he said, you know, open it up. It just makes for a better game.
When I used to do coaching.
But I will tell you this, what it does make it hard is when you get to like an A's game, in an upper level
as
game,
an umpire, you're
now,
right.
now you're changing your strike zone,
Good
and
point.
that's tough.
Good point. As a youth traveling coach, we used to take the flip before the game, and I'd tell the ump, hey, don't be afraid to be a pitcher's umpire. Call strikes that are close. I told my hitters, they got to protect the strike zone.
Willis is leading off the inning for North. He walked and scored back in the first, and you know, they have that saying about when you make a great defensive play, you usually come up the next inning to bat. Well, this is it right here. Willis made just a great catch out in center. Now he's leading off the inning.
Grinke's throwing hard, and here's the time you want to throw strikes with a 7-run lead here. Fastball, first ball strike, second one up and away.
Speaking of Grinke's, Gary Grinke, teacher at North, former head baseball coach for the Raiders, is retiring after this year too.
I got one more year left. Are you rubbing it in or what?
Yeah. Not really. I didn't mean to be that way. It just comes naturally.
You know, it's funny. For those who don't know, I just had my hip replaced and I've been off for weeks, and it feels like you retired or something. You know, you went through that last year with your heart procedure.
Fourth quarter, I kind of came in. I was easing into retirement, you know, taking the fourth quarter off. But not the way I wanted to.
Yeah, it's a funny feeling. It really is.
By the way, I want to publicly thank you for stopping over to visit me that one day.
It doesn't have to be done publicly.
But he never came back either.
Actually, that was the end of the year, and you're lucky I came at all. So 2-2 count here. He's been featuring
You and
fastballs.
Gary Decker were the only ones that came over during that time.
Well, actually, Ron Knight, a former ball player with us, called me and told me I didn't even know you had a procedure done.
It was more than a procedure. But
you're a medical marvel.
You're really. 3-2 to Willis. Let's get back to the ball game.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do now is put runners on base via the walk here with a big lead. And up and in. He threw all fastballs, but didn't find the strike zone. So good at bat by Willis. He worked the count nicely.
Alex Nelson is up next. Alex had a nice sacrifice bunt in the first inning. And one thing, I don't know how you feel about this, Greg, but, you know, like South is turning over the lineup. You know, they're going to come to bat for the third time already. And the more you see that pitcher, of course, the easier it is to hit. Now, North, they're first going through their second time, and it's the third inning.
As a coach, I'd be thinking already by the second inning, who made last out? How many hits do I need to get to my main hitters? And when I watch a ball game, and you know I'm a Yankee fan, I'm looking to see when can they get to the middle order again. So it's something you're always cognizant of, no doubt about it.
Speaking of the Yankees, they're having trouble filling the front row behind home plate.
So I gave my season tickets back.
800,000, you just couldn't afford it.
I said I could do half a plan, but not the whole year.
And they said, forget it. We'll leave the seat empty instead.
They're going to rethink that. I understand the Mets had some problems too.
Yeah, they're thinking about doing a little different plan for purchasing or how much you had to pay, but then they'd have to give everybody's money back that have purchased season tickets.
True.
And that's part of the problem.
Fall
straight
ball.
back by
Good
Nelson.
hack.
Yeah,
Good
I was
hack.
thinking the same thing. Had a good rip at that ball.
Eight to 1 South lead here.
Yeah, they
lead off man on, nobody out.
Big second inning really opened it up. And actually, North was fortunate South didn't score more runs in the first because they had the second and third, or bases loaded and nobody out, twice in the inning. And only got 2. Fly ball out to left, pretty high, ranging over and making the nice catch.
Stayed fair and went after it nicely.
Alex Lang making that grab. Showed good speed out there.
If you look at where he's playing, and you don't play guys, you know, they don't have books on certain hitters, so he's over pretty much straight away left. He had a lot of ground to cover. He did a nice job, called him off, was his all the way.
Ryan Ham is up. Ham singled in a run back in the first. Willis still on at first base.
If I'm not mistaken, that's North's only hit so far.
They had one in the first. Oh, right. Ham's single for that run. I didn't see. Was that a wild pitch or a pass
It
ball?
hit the dirt, so I guess you got to give it a WP.
That's important.
Grant kind of came up as far as earned runs or not, huh?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Just checking out if Willis has had 3 stolen bases in 3 attempts, so now he's already on second, so probably won't steal third.
Just looking down this way, I just happened to glance at it. There's a ground ball to third. Nice play.
Good arm over to first by Sam Raff. Sam did a little bit of pitching in his day, but he makes a nice play.
Threw 2 nice balls over to first base. I was just glancing down at the bullpen for North as somebody's throwing. I don't know if it's in earnest or not. Can you get a number on that, Marty?
That might be Wasink.
Okay.
I was just looking at Raff's line for pitching. He's 2-1, but he's only thrown 9 innings. But he does have a good arm. Eigenberger up, chance to help
from
himself.
a long line of Raff pitchers.
Yeah. The one older one did play college baseball, I think, in Iowa.
Northern Iowa, Zach, and he graduated in 3 years. So.
Same with, there's a line drive to center.
Good
there
attempt.
For a base hit.
Good time to gamble, and he kept it in front of him at the same time. That's a nice outfield play right there.
Justin Reineke making a good effort, holding Eigenberger to a single.
Knew he might as well take the shot at it. Dove, kept it in front of him. No harm, no foul. Good attempt. That scores a run.
Lucas Wilsing played there too, or is playing.
Still is, right.
Next up for North is Tucker DeVriend. DeVriend is playing left field. Made a nice play. At least he got back on the ball. Wasn't able to make the catch on Kazmarowski's triple, I believe that was. Eigenberger taking a good lead at first.
That's up the shaft. Who's going to call?
Home run in an elevator shaft. Nice catch made by the second baseman, Josh Grinke, and that ends the inning for North, but they do get a run. And after 2.5 innings of play, South 8, North 2.
I hope you're saving the extra money.
You gotta put it in stocks.
If you want to get ahead.
No, buns.
And CDs.
Way to go.
Buns,
Laddering, you
Stick it under the mattress.
Getting plenty of advice, but not enough facts? Visit saveandinvest.org. No confusing advice, no sales pitch. Just unbiased information and tools to help you manage your money with confidence. Saveandinvest.org.
Salam.
Jam.
Salam. Ewa.
Ride. Apa? Pa.
Mir. Shanti. Yep, Changyok.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs
Sola.
are making it happen.
Lucky.
Through international scholarships for young people to promote peace and understanding
La Fei.
around the world. Rotary. Humanity in motion.
Back at Wildwood Baseball Park, where Sheboygan South is coming up to bat in the bottom of the third. They had a big second inning and broke this 2-1 game wide open. It's now 8-2 South, and they are looking good.
Been a lot of action so far, both ways. Lots of putting the ball in play.
Now we noticed somebody warming up in the bullpen last half inning for North, but it's still Eigenberger on the mound. So he's going to see if he can have a little better go of it this inning. Alex Lang, the left fielder, is leading off for the Red Wings. Alex hitting .095, but he does have a hit
base
today.
Hit his last time up, so
he's up over 100. He's around Prince Fielder territory now.
Brewer fans, they came out of the gate slow, and Brewer fans are a little disappointed. But
well, when you lose two stud pitchers, I mean.
I watched Bush yesterday, and a guy called me just happened to be calling me about some union matters, and Hall made a great play over third. And I say, by the way, do you know that Bush is throwing a no-hitter? Before I could say that, there's a line drive base hit. I jinxed him.
No, that was the line. That was the home run.
Oh, that's right. Who hit that? Oh, Stairs.
That's Stairs.
There's always room for a 5'10", 280-pound DH or pinch hitter in this case.
The joke on the radio this morning was the same thing happened. Walked to a Lang. The same kind of thing happened. He's pitching this no-hitter, and Hall makes the good play, and Lance Allen, the sports guy on TV, sends out an email to the whole company. Bush has got a no-hitter next. He's up the home run.
Usually, yeah, you're right, because it usually there's always one good play defensively.
All right, now Chris Wright is coming in to make a pitching change.
So he wanted to get through the third with him. He started him off, 4-pitch walk, and he said, sorry, Ryan. And Ryan's not, is he going in to play defense or not?
He'll come in, yeah. Chris said that it'll be a position change. Coming in to pitch will be Tom Ross, the third baseman.
Third, so that should be a flip-flop move, I think.
Yep, I would think so. So Ross is going to pitch starting this inning. So Eigenberger goes 2 innings, and that's it.
I had Tom in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade as a youth pitcher in traveling, and he was our hardest thrower all the time. And a gutty kid. He didn't care. He went out there and threw, and we were overmatched a lot of times, and it didn't matter to him. He still threw hard. Sometimes control was an issue. But, again, that's 4 and 5 years ago. I think Tom plays a little linebacker at North. Am I right? You football announcer, you?
I don't know.
Don't
remember. Dave Lubach joining us up in the booth. I'll tell you, we did this that North game a couple weeks ago. It was cold, Greg. And by the end of the game, there was nobody in the stands. They were all up here.
Well, it may have not just been a cold factor, Marty. They've heard your golden voice over the years now on TV, and they wanted to just see, is this how he does it up here?
Groupies. That's what it was.
I know. Oftentimes you leave the ballpark, and you kind of have to fight your way through the crowd after a game.
Actually, I got to fight to get out the doorway. My head gets so big.
So I see Tommy threw a little breaking ball. Of course, in the youth days, they didn't have much of one, but we'll see what he has here. I'm sure Coach Wright said throw some strikes, Tom. We'll get back in here yet. First batter he's going to face is, where are we in the lineup here? Are we at the top of the order?
We're going to be batting with the top of the order coming up. Justin Reinecke.
Justin had a really nice at bat last time. Had a gap shot, double weighted for the ball nicely.
He's hit the ball hard both times. That 1-2 a ham at short was hit sharply, even though it went for an error. And then he had a really nice at bat his second time when he stroked a double to left center field to drive in a pair of runs. And now he's up with Lang on first, Ross on the mound.
Lang has pretty good speed, but I used to like to give a left-hander at least a shot or two at that hole on the right side. So if I take a fastball for a strike at the knees.
See, Ross has got a 1-0 record. He's pitched in 4 games, but only gone 7 2/3 innings.
There goes the runner, and basically no chance. Didn't have to slide.
Easy steal for Lang, showing good speed. Got a good jump off the pitcher. I'd have to say that was stolen off the pitcher. Conrad, like you said, didn't have a shot.
You know, as a wild pitch in the dirt, AJ
Pitch in
dropped,
the dirt.
tried to block it. Asking for help to find it over here. Back by the screen. You know, in defense of Tommy Ross on that one, you come in and first of all, you're worried about trying to throw strikes, and all of a sudden you forget there's a runner on, so he didn't do a good job of holding him. But that's also step number 2 to learn, you know, how to pitch with runners on. And
Oh, yeah. You always got to be aware of the situation. And
infield's got to be in, I think, the rest of the game. Here they are. There's a good fastball inside corner.
That makes the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's nobody out. Man on third now. Lang reached on a walk, stole second, then went to third on the wild pitch. Line drive through the infield. Just got by Ross's glove. And it goes as a single for Reinecke.
Had he fielded it, Alec was holding as he should. You got to let the ball clear the pitcher. But just bounced over his head. It was hit pretty hard. Good base hit. That's hit number 8, I think it is, for South.
Yep, that's what I have. And then that finishes Eigenberger's line. He gave up 9 runs. 7 of them were earned. Walked 4, struck out 1, and gave up 7 hits.
In 2 innings, so.
Yes, so not a good outing for Ryan.
Reinecke, a good base runner. I wouldn't be surprised if he's stealing there. Marty, there he goes.
First pitch.
And he had no chance. AJ, nice block, but no chance regardless.
Another pitch in the dirt, and Conrad is going to go out and talk to his battery mate. We might be looking at a run rule situation here, Greg. North having trouble on the offensive end, and the pitching is having even more trouble than the offense did.
I think somebody's got to remind Tom on that, to hold a runner on and give him a look or step off or throw to first or slide step or all of the above.
Something different than what's happening.
There's a good pitch.
And that one goes right off the glove of AJ. Very catchable ball.
Yeah, it was an outside. As a matter of fact, it was called a strike. I don't know if he crossed him up or not, but AJ's been doing a lot of running back here, that's for sure.
We've seen too much of his chest protector.
Infield's got to be in again.
Nelson a little late coming up, but now he gets on the edge of the grass. And there's a good stop by Conrad. But that pitch now makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike on Grant Evans, the catcher. Evans has a nice line today so far. He's 1 for 1 with a walk, and he's scored 2 runs, and he hasn't had that bunt
as a
hit.
catcher, more importantly, he's done a nice job back there.
3-1. That pitch is outside for a ball, and that loads up.
Do that one across his body.
Puts runners on first and third, pardon me.
One of the things Tom used to do is do away with mechanics. Instead of coming over the top and squaring up when he finished, he'd always finish high and across his body, and there was an example. Pinch runner.
Yeah, number 16.
Walker Fortin. Have him listed as an infielder. So runners on the corners with their senior leader, Jacob Bristow, up.
Jake has reached base twice, scored his last time, and he has a single. He's 1 for 1. South has got the offense rolling tonight. There's a breaking ball for a
Nice
strike.
pitch, outside corner.
No balls, 1 strike. South on top, 9-2. They've got 1 run in this inning, and they're threatening to add more.
Look out. Said the first breaking ball looks so nice, I think I'll throw a second. Not the same results.
No. It's hard to do, you know. As a high school kid, you got to repeat that delivery. I mean, that's really what good pitching is repeating your delivery.
You know, and again, as we said before, oftentimes the pitchers that come in relief are position players, so they really haven't had the time to warm up, nor do they always work at it the same, you know.
Right.
They're taking infield, they're doing BP, and they're not worried about release points on the mound. There's a good fastball. I had some giddy up to it.
Yep. Up a little bit. Makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Still nobody out. We're in the 3rd inning. And
North has some action in the pen as well. Jacob Wasnick is throwing down there.
yeah, that definitely is.
He's throwing with earnest. There's a good breaking ball.
Another
It's a tough
breaking ball
pitch.
in there for a strike, and it's strike 3. Called strike 3.
Still runners on first and third.
Surprised he hasn't had Fortin run.
Maybe
But,
no. I think
I don't
because Jake
wanna
is
rub
their
it in.
leader, right?
Well,
that
that
too.
or-
And I don't always know what they're. You know, I think if you think about it, the best way to do that is get your 10-run lead. You want to save your pitching, then worry about etiquette and so forth. You know.
Well, nothing's guaranteed either.
True.
Josh Grinke is the hitter. Grinke hit a sac fly.
There he
And,
goes now. There's a good breaking ball, but don't throw it.
Grinke might be the star of the game, Greg. He's 1 for 1 with 4 RBIs, a double and a run scored.
Did he hit a sac fly in the first inning? Hit
Sac
well?
fly in the first, that drove in the first run, and then hit that bases clearing double.
So he could have a headlines tomorrow with a base hit here and a couple RBIs. That's for sure.
Dave's writing it down now.
No.
Can you repeat that for him? He wants to get it word for word.
Walker Fortin's on second. Did you give him catcher's indifference on that last one?
No, we gave him a stolen base.
Okay. Not that your book counts anyhow, so.
Really?
What do you do with that thing at the end of the year, by the way?
It gets stored in the basement with the football stuff and basketball stuff, and we wait for football to start and pull out that folder, and we're ready to go.
3-0 pitch.
Strike.
Up and away strike.
That's what we're talking about. Open up the strike zone. Don't let them walk the bases loaded.
There's another fastball, almost the same spot, just a bit high. That loads them up.
Could have called that a strike. Jared Grinke up. Yeah, Wasink still warming up in earnest in the bullpen. Russo comes over. There you see Jacob.
So we go from one Grinke to another here.
This one is Jared, the pitcher. Jared is 1 for 2. Another breaking ball. I'll tell you, we've seen a lot of breaking pitches from the north side, haven't we?
Sometimes, you know, bases loaded and in a jam, you want to throw a strike. And
pitch outside.
Not close, I might add.
And Russo, Ross having trouble, and here comes Chris Wright again. Not happy times for the north side. And I know he's not too happy with the way things are going. And Ross.
So we got Wasson coming in from the bullpen.
Yep, he is.
We have his numbers, Marty.
Wasink comes in. I had him, or he was pitched the second game of that St. Catharines doubleheader and really pitched a fine ball game. Jacob's record is 1 win, 2 losses. He's made 3 starts, 1 relief appearance. Does have a complete game, giving up 20 hits in 13 innings. ERA is quite high, 9.69. But
so he's no stranger to the mound then.
no, he's actually in 13 innings has walked 12. That surprises me because he was around the plate pretty good that St. Catharines game. Has only 5 strikeouts, so he's not going to blow people away.
Well, he's looking over the situation right now. I think they also switched catchers.
Well,
AJ is not out there right now, Conrad, and Chris is explaining the umpire a couple of moves here.
We don't quite know.
Well, I know Ross is also a catcher. At least he was when
maybe
he was a kid.
Maybe Wasink is going to come in for Conrad, and Ross will come back as the catcher. And they are changing gear over there. You can see him. He just stuck down behind the dugout, but Ryan Andrews trying to get a shot. There you see Chris talking to Todd Preby, home plate umpire.
And if you just joined us here, South has the bases loaded with 1 out with an 8-2 lead in the third.
9-2 even.
9-2. South needs to stop them here. There's no question about it. It is Tommy Ross coming out and doing the catching.
So some position changes.
Now they could have had somebody warm them up in the meantime. That might not have been a bad idea.
Why would we do that? Ross then goes to catcher. And Wasink, I'm pretty sure, is going to be in for Conrad's spot. Baylitz is also moving out to right field. So Hobart's out of the game.
Now, Hobart was the outfielder, wasn't hitting.
That's correct.
You can see the right fielder looking at gauging the sun, his first move. Again, that's come into play a couple of times in this ball game. Wind still blowing strong out to left field. Shadows haven't been an issue yet.
Boy, we're only in the bottom of the third. And we already got an hour and 15 minutes in.
Well, you get paid by the hour. I don't get paid at all. Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm just thinking about our fans. You know, they're waiting for their fish fry Friday, and
No, they didn't grill out today. You said hot dogs are on the menu, right? In the concession stand below?
Yes. Served with a smile. Dick Oldrich.
Is he still doing it this year?
Oh, yeah.
He's been at it for a few years. His sons were both good ball players.
Football and baseball.
So Jared Grinke continues at bat with 2-0 count as Wasink inherits a bases loaded,
all right,
1 out situation.
I just want to go through these changes real quick, Greg. Wasink in for Conrad. Baylitz in for Hobart out and right. Ross moves from third to pitcher to catcher. And Greg just gave you the count to Granke, and that's already obsolete. Now it's 3-0.
So Ross will get the walk if would be.
Yeah, good point. Didn't think about that.
And he took a fastball high, so.
And that forces in a run. Wow.
Number 7, Sam Rapp.
So this is the first official batter for Wasink, Sam Raff.
Pinch runner for South coming out. Wyatt Pletz Jr.
Wyatt did a little running back in the first inning, actually. Stepping in is Sam Raff. Raff with 2 RBIs, Greg, but both of them on ground outs.
He put the ball in play, and good things happened for him. Jacob Washington's going into a windup. Has yet to find a plate here. Infield's got to be back. They need outs right now.
Yeah.
I think it hit his bat.
Yep.
It did.
Ticked off the bat, the knob, it looked like. That evens the count at 1-1. But looking at it from a more puristic point of view, Wassing's still not throwing strikes.
Sometimes when you get a gift, you settle down, as he did there.
Yeah.
But see if
Fly
it hangs
ball
up
out
there.
to center field. Willis making a great catch in the alley.
Hit well. Good job by the base runner to hold. Good sack fly.
Raff making contact, making things happen, gets another RBI.
Willis really saved North from a monster south inning on that one.
Well, the trouble is the inning's still not over.
You know, he
It's
made
only
a
one
nice
out.
play when he pivoted, drop step to his left. Earlier, I think it was the second inning. Here he did a nice job going to his right, so he's done everything as a center fielder has to.
Next up is Jake Rissy. Rissy with a line drive caught, and that ends the inning.
Fastball in on his fists, so settle down a little bit.
Well, a couple more
Stop
runs.
the bleeding anyhow.
Yeah, really. Couple more runs for South. It's now 11-2. They got 3 runs that inning.
What do triglycerides or trigs have to do to get noticed? Normal triglycerides are below 150. High triglycerides increase your risk of heart disease. And if you're a woman, that risk goes up even more. After standing in the shadows of good and bad cholesterol, triglyceride, also known as the forgotten fat, is ready to share the spotlight and the attention. Remember to ask your doctor about the good, the bad, and the forgotten fat. And remember, normal triglycerides are under 150.
This message brought to you by Sister to Sister, working together for healthy hearts.
This is a banana. This is a cat. This is fire. This is harmless and actually helpful to some people. Don't believe everything you hear. The fact is that every major health organization rejects smoked marijuana. Now that the smoke is cleared, discover truecompassion.org.
Back at Wildwood Baseball Park, and it's a blowout now. 11-2, South on top. They were trailing. North scored a run in the first, and then South came right back and scored 2 in the bottom of the inning, and then they scored 6 more in the second and 3 more in the third, and score stands 11-2. Leading off the inning for Northsiders is Chris Russo. Russo popped the first, his first time up.
So North hitters trying to get back in the ballgame, took a first pitch, which you should do. Now 1-1, a fastball outside. And Jared Grinke's just trying to throw strikes here to get himself a nice W. There's a good fastball.
Good
Tough
rip.
place to hit it.
But coming up empty was Russo. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the top of the 4th. Could be a short one, Greg.
There's a breaking ball.
Oh, nice pitch.
That was. Froze him a little bit. And
It's the second strikeout versus 3 walks for Grinke.
there's Tom Ross, who's now gone from third to pitcher to catcher. So he's been
around the horn. Another strike by Grinke. You know, the other thing that seems to happen, Greg, is when you throw strikes, you seem to get more strike calls by the umpire.
well. You don't have to shift your eye level as much, so that helps, you know.
Oh, I agree with you there. Another breaking ball for a strike.
He's got a good breaking ball. Again, when you're ahead in the game big, it allows you to afford you some opportunities, but he's throwing well.
That pitch rides in low. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Tom Ross.
Jared came in with an ERA of 131. So he's pitched well. He already has 16 innings under his belt.
He's their leader, right, in terms of innings pitched?
He's given up 8 runs, but only 3 of them earned, so he's done well. On his way to a complete game. Here's another strikeout in this inning. Both of those strikeout pitches were on fastballs.
I was going to say that
outside
last
corner,
pitch
tough
was a
places
nice
to
one.
hit.
Mike Balitz coming in.
I think this is his first at bat.
Yep. Baylitz did appear a couple times as a courtesy runner. And I had him coming in for Hobart, but he's actually in for Conrad.
Gets in on his fist, pops it up. There you go.
That was a roof shot. On deck is Wasink. Jared Granke in the windup.
There's a fastball strike, so he's throwing nothing but strikes here. As he's ahead, good job for him.
The other thing is when you got a big lead like that, it certainly is a lot easier to just barrel it in there. And another strikeout. Baylitz goes down swinging, and Granke
struck out the sides.
Yeah, strikes out the side. A called strikeout and then 2 swinging strikeouts. At the end of 3.5 innings of play, South on top 11-2.
The most dangerous thing
our kids have to deal with today
isn't violence.
it isn't drugs, it's unhealthy food.
Too many of our kids are overweight.
They're headed for diabetes, heart problems, or worse.
They need to eat healthy things like vegetables, fruits, high-fiber vegetarian foods.
As our kids grow, the right foods can help protect them from obesity, heart problems, diabetes, and even cancer. To find out more, call for a free booklet or visit our website, kidsgethealthy.org.
One day, you were simply struggling to be a dad. The next, you're coping with a diagnosis of childhood cancer. CureSearch.org can help. It's run by doctors and scientists whose research has led to an overall cure rate of 78%. You're not as alone as you feel.
We're just scouring through the yearbook for Sheboygan North baseball, and it's quite a production. Chris really does a great job with this.
We're just trying to see if we can find a head-to-head record of North and South, at least in the last several years anyhow.
Yeah, we're not finding it right now.
Well, we'll see if we can find it between the next innings here. Meantime, here's Kazmarowski, who has been hitting the ball well, and he got him started in that second inning.
Here we go. It's right here. 34-15. They're doing pretty good.
In favor of North? Most of those coming, I think, prior to the last couple of years.
Brian Gutowski is in for North, out in left field for Tucker DeVrind. Out in right field, actually.
It's a pop foul. Over to first base dugout. One thing about Kaz, he goes up there swinging.
He's an aggressive hitter, to say the least. Takes a good hack at the ball. There's a good rip. But right at Willis, you don't want to hit it out in the center field. That's where fly balls go to die.
Hit it well.
Alex Lang is up next.
I think it's only fair North deserves a few Adam balls, shall we say. Lang has a couple of stolen bases and a base hit to his credit. Takes
a check swing and does go for a ball. Could have appealed on that one. It was close.
It looked like a good pitch besides.
Of course, with the left-hand batter and the
yeah, what do you do in
umpire,
a case like that? Do you even bother?
You do.
Okay.
You're supposed to always grant it. Chances of getting it called are slim to none because you just don't get a good look at it.
Although when you see instant replays, there's basically no such thing as a check swing. They're always through the zone. You ever notice that?
I think most of the time you're right, but not every time. How did that not hit him?
I thought it did. Had to reverse spin when it hit the dirt, I guess. Makes a 2-1 count.
Alex Lang is up. Greg mentioned he had a hit. He's also scored a couple runs. I don't know if you got that in there. Seems like everybody has scored for South.
3-1 count.
Grant Evans has scored 3 times, as has Justin Reinecke. That pitch way outside. Lang is going to trot down to first, and he's on for the 3rd time in the ball game. A single and 2 walks.
So, Marty, do you call off the dogs and don't have them steal, or what do you do here? Again, they don't have a 10-run lead yet.
Boy, I don't know. That's a great question, Greg. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if he did go, just because you want to get the 10-run lead.
Right. Save your pitchers some innings.
You know, I never thought of it that way, but that's actually a fine point. You know, get the game over early and save your pitchers. Plus, it gives you something a little more to brag about. Line
Fisted
drive.
him, and the first baseman, for some reason, straight off.
Yeah, didn't stay at his position, and it cost him a double play. Not smart running by Lang, that's for sure. But he caught a break. Of course, we could blame that on Willie. Matson, the first base coach.
True.
What are you doing over there? No, not the base runner. You, Willie. Bouncing ball foul. And Craig Clace missed the first 2 in the ball game. Didn't even go after that one. Grant Evans is hitting now. On first is Alex Lang.
Did Grant undergo a number change, just out of curiosity, from what we've been given? I know.
No, he's been 33 all game.
Okay, I know, but I mean, originally I had him listed as number 10. I was wondering if he changed uniform numbers.
There's a line drive out to left center field. Willis won't get that one. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Lang will score.
Well, there's your 10 runs.
Yep, and in standing with a double is Grant Evans.
Took a fastball at the letters and knew what to do with it. Hit that one well, and Willis has been playing great center field, but had no chance for that one.
No, you're right there. Well, they've found that wind stream out in left field and have used it to their advantage. The Red Wings with 4 extra base hits, 3 doubles and a triple. And we have Jacob Risto coming in to hit. And coming in to courtesy run is Tim Schrader. Schrader's a senior. There's a bouncing ball on the infield. Eigenberger.
Called him safe, but nicely done with a bare hand pickup.
You're right, and it was very close. Couldn't get the speedy Risto, so it goes as an infield hit. Risto is 2 for 3 today. That'll help pump up the average. That'll help pump up the average a little bit.
Close play over at first base, but Eigenberger was impressive in that one.
That matchup thing in the book is from since 1988.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't include the entire history of the series. That pitch is fouled back by
Looks
Josh
like it's in
Kinke.
play. Eigenberger's
Oh, it
got
is
a
in
room.
play. I thought that was back over the... But Eigenberger makes the play, and that ends the inning. But South got that all-important run, Greg, to jack up the lead to 10.
So what you're saying is, Mari, this could be it, or this half inning.
You're right. This could be it.
If you give me a fish,
If you give someone a fish,
you feed them for a day.
Teach someone to fish.
You feed them for a lifetime.
Give me a fish, and you'll feed me for a day. Teach me to fish, and you'll feed me for a lifetime.
Through Volunteers of America, you can help change lives in your community.
big breaker, huh? A couple of substitutes for the Red Wings. Zach Bennon is in at second base, and Walker Fortin is in at third base.
So Joey Bergerino leads off here in the fifth, and the Raiders need a run to avoid being run ruled here in the fifth. As South leads 12-2 and out-hit the North Raiders 10-2. Grinke struck out the sides in the fourth.
Now, for Bergerino, Greg, this is only his second at-bat. And we'd mentioned that earlier about not turning over the lineup. You don't get to see the pitcher as often. Although I don't think it'd make much difference with Grinke the way he's chucking tonight, or this afternoon. That strike evens the count at 1-1. Bergerino grounded to third back in the second inning.
It looks like it's going to be in play.
Pop up on the infield. Grinke making the call.
And having some problems.
Couldn't get it. Wind blew that one away from him. That one actually probably would have been easier for the third baseman to come in on.
Well, he just came in the ball game, so
yeah,
difficult for him.
Right.
Catcher would like to be called off anytime he can, and rightly so. And that's just one of those high school things that happens sometimes. I got it, no, you take it.
Bergerino credited with the base hit. Grinke just threw a rocket over to first base on a pickoff attempt. That was as hard as any fastball he's thrown. There you get a good shot.
Still has good stuff, by the way. His fastball still.
Yeah, it's topping up there, that's for sure.
Maybe he's a little bit perturbed after that pop-up got away from him.
He wants another 3 strikeouts.
There's a fastball for a strike.
Pardon me, 12-2 South on top. We're in the top of the fifth. North trying to avoid being 10-run ruled.
Today's a Friday night, so do they play tomorrow? I know somebody's got a doubleheader, don't they?
I don't know. That's a good question. Actually, you know, I've got both schedules. Just have to find it. It's in my folder.
It's pretty hard to have an off day now on a potential game day because of the rainouts we've been faced with. There's a nice fall back, a wasted 2-strike fastball.
Well, Sheboygan North, according to this schedule, the original one, they're not playing tomorrow. South does have a doubleheader at Laconia. And
oh, that's right. It's
Steve Goes.
The old Sheboygan baseball guy, Steve Goes' ball club, huh?
Of course, he's not an old guy.
No, but he's been around Sheboygan baseball since he was a kid.
Right. Good guy.
Yeah, he is. He got a teaching job at Rosendale about 2 years ago. And he coaches the one of the Appleton Legion teams varsity.
Line drive out the center.
There's a half swing aluminum bat line
Reinecke
drive.
makes the catch. Was fooled a little bit on that ball going right at him, but once he got his sea legs, he came in and made a nice grab.
Umpire was in good position because he wasn't running. You know, when you run, sometimes your eyes bounce.
Yeah.
You don't get a good view of it. He was stationary and saw it well.
Willie Madsen coming out to talk to Jared. And getting ready to hit for North is Alex Nelson. Nelson 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. Now, you don't do any more coaching for baseball.
No. I just chased my son all around, and my youngest son decided he didn't want to go through the same things that my older son Taylor did with Dad making him practice.
Oh.
So he said, Dad, I'm going to be a swimmer instead.
Chase me to the pool.
And I don't know much about swimming, so I always kid him about the strokes. And
all you
Dad,
know is
those aren't right, he
keep
says.
your head above water. Hey, swimming is probably, I would think that'd be probably the best activity for you because it's so easy on the joints.
It would be super, except I'm such a bad swimmer. It would be too much of an exercise.
Wouldn't take much to get you heart healthy in the water, huh?
Really. Breathe through the mouth and cup my hands. I have to remind myself. That's a good. He's still throwing good fastballers. Could be 2 because he didn't get a good jump. 1, 2. There's your ball game, Mr. Martin.
Oh, nice turn of the double play. 1-6-3, and that's the ball game. Nelson grounding into the double play. Well, your impressions of South, Greg, because they really look pretty good tonight.
Well, they hit the ball well. Mr. Grinke threw well. They played defense. They did everything you have to do. Ran the bases well. They scored in bunches. They hit the ball well, and North was just outplayed today.
Well, Granke is going to be our winner. Ryan Eigenberger will be the loser. There you see it, 12-2. South racking up 10 hits, no errors. Pretty impressive. North, on the other hand, had a tough time with the offensive end of it. For the crew, Brian Andrews on the field camera. We have Steve Reiner and Fritz Zank up here running the press box camera. Kerry Kautzer and Scott Meloff were our directors tonight. For my partner, Greg Schwartz, I'm Mike Martin saying thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you down the road.